A while back I reviewed the FLASK by bluuplabs, a fantastic little device that allows you to take your whole amiibo collection around in your pocket in the form of NFC tags. It's still a favourite gadget of mine, so when bluuplabs announced their latest release called the Slide, I had to order one straight away. It's not so much a successor to the FLASK, it's more of an alternative option with some advantages and some disadvantages in comparison to its big brother. So how does it stack up against the FLASK, and should you consider buying one? Keep watching to find out. Hi and welcome back to the shed. I'm JOEBLEEPS, and in this video I'll be taking a close look at the Slide from bluuplabs, and I'll be letting you know why I think it could well be an essential item for all Nintendo gamers on the go. There are a number of subtle changes in comparison to the FLASK, but it's by no means a lesser product, it's just different. But should you buy one? Let's take a look. The Slide is a trimmed down version of the FLASK that retains the same Bluetooth and NFC emulation functionality, as well as the internal rechargeable battery that made the FLASK such an appealing prospect in the first place. It costs £34.50 from the bluuplabs website, and it's considerably undercutting the FLASK by a massive chunk, with the FLASK retailing for between £66 and £82. In my opinion, this price point makes the Slide something that most Switch users can't afford to miss out on, particularly if you haven't managed to get your hands on a FLASK already. It's a small plastic square with a central tactile button, a red and blue LED, a tiny speaker, a little loop for a lanyard or keychain, NFC connectivity, Bluetooth connectivity, storage for up to 40 NFC tags, and a rechargeable internal battery, all inside one tiny little joyful piece of plastic. What we have here is a diminutive, no-frills device that emulates up to 40 amiibos at one time, and it's always on. So if you pick it up to scan, it works just like a regular amiibo. No need to switch on, no need to load up, it is always ready. And it lasts a whole month on one full charge. Amazing. If you really want to, it is possible to switch it off and save power with 3 quick presses followed by a long press to shut it down. The light will slowly flash red to confirm. Repeat the process to turn it back on, a blue light this time, and it boots up in no time at all. Now in terms of charging, it comes with a great little charging cable that connects with magnets. It reminds me of my MacBook charger, and it adds to the robust appeal of the Slide. There's no open sockets, it's all self-contained, and it's clearly built to last. And that magnetic polarity makes sure that you never connect it the wrong way around. There's no visual display this time around, aside from the 2 internal LEDs that are only visible through the white plastic when they illuminate, which is a nice touch. The thing is, although I had reservations about the lack of a display, there's another new release from bluuplabs that means it doesn't even matter that much. You see, the really exciting news here that makes the FLASK and the Slide a much more portable option now is the release of the bluuplabs Connect mobile app. Yes, that's right. The Slide now works alongside your phone, and it brings a wealth of advantages as a result. Now, if you're an early adopter, don't worry, the app works absolutely fine with the FLASK too. Just a quick note, you will need a phone with NFC functionality for this to work. Also, on iOS 16.5, the Bluetooth won't connect. There's an update on the way, but it's currently going through the app review process. Now, I had some issues connecting to one of my spare phones, which is a Huawei P30 Lite, but it paired easily with my Pixel 6a and also my Pixel 4a 5G. bluuplabs customer support is excellent. However, you can always send them a DM on Instagram if you have any issues, and they'll always be there to help. If there are issues, you can be assured that they'll be addressed in any future updates for the hardware. FLASK is still being supported, so that's reassuring for anyone jumping on board with the Slide. The mobile app and the Slide work beautifully together, connecting with Bluetooth. A word of warning though, don't start off by going and connecting using the phone settings like I did at first, because that's going to cause you problems. If you have done that, simply unpair, forget the device on your phone, restart the Slide, and you're all good. To get started with Bluetooth Connect, download it from the App Store or Google Play Store, and then open the app. Tap on the Bluetooth icon that's displayed on the screen with your Slide nearby. The device should be recognized and the name will appear on the screen. You tap that, and off you go. While you're connected, you get all the information that you need on your phone screen from the app, including a little photo of each amiibo, making it super easy to select the right one. Tap the button on the Slide and you'll see the active tag change on your phone's display. Alternatively, tap any amiibo on the phone screen and that will be selected as your active tag. Also, and this is a really great feature, there's the option to keep and organize a whole library of amiibos on your phone via the app. So although there's only only room for 40 amiibos on the slide itself, you can swap them around very easily because you can essentially have an entire collection of amiibos on your phone library and then just transfer whichever ones you want onto your slide at a moment's notice, even while you're out and about. And finally, the bit that really made me smile: with this setup, you can use the app to easily scan your actual physical amiibos. When you're connected to your phone with the app, you simply tap the NFC icon and your phone will prompt you to scan. Scan your amiibo and it will be automatically added to your list. Alternatively, you can tap on the add file icon, navigate your way to your downloaded files, select the one you want, and that one will pop up on your list with the picture, the name, and the amiibo series it's from. It's a clean, intuitive, convenient, and immensely satisfying experience. Let's take a moment to just rewind back to the FLASK by bluuplabs. This was released over a year ago now, and it still gets regular use from me. It's a wonderful little invention that can now store up to 85 different NFC tags, and it's designed with Nintendo's amiibos in mind. Up until recently, you'd need to use a computer to connect to it. You'd download a bunch of tags on your computer and then upload those to your FLASK. Alternatively, if you did have an NFC reader device connected to your computer, you could also scan your own amiibos, leaving you with a gadget that you could take out and about with you and scan on your Switch or your new 3DS whenever you needed to use an amiibo. So I've already done a full video about the FLASK and I'll link that up here if you want to check it out. It is a great piece of kit, but often I've recommended it to friends and then they've come back to me and told me it's been out of stock. Much respect and congratulations to bluuplabs for coming up with a product that people want, and I am glad they're getting people's custom. It is well deserved. I do want to be clear that I bought my FLASK at full price and I've bought my slide at full price this time around too, and I'm absolutely happy to do that. bluuplabs is a solo project, one person realizing their wonderful ideas, setting up a small business and sharing them with the world. That's a brand I want to support, but if I am spending my own money on things and I'm not impressed, you will always know about it. One of the shortcomings of the original FLASK, particularly at the time of its release, was that to load it up you needed to connect to a computer, and the idea was that you could download tags from the internet and then use the FLASK as your one-stop amiibo collection when you're playing your games. So I did find some amiibo files fairly easily online. I won't link any here, but just do a quick search for Google Drive amiibo to find what you need if that floats your boat. But what I really wanted was something that allows people to simply scan their own real physical amiibo collection to take out and about with them, and the FLASK wasn't really able to do that in an easy or convenient way. Downloading the files, particularly for rare amiibos, is kind of cool, but scanning your own amiibos and then bringing those out will definitely add to that legit appeal. Also, I did find that having to use a computer takes away from that portable appeal, and it ended up with me not really using it, so it didn't really get the updates as often as it should. In fact, when I came to put this video together, I realized that the FLASK had a really great firmware update that I'd missed, and now it stores a lot more amiibo tags than it did the last time I used it. Although the FLASK does have a display screen, it's a basic text display. So if you've got, say, a Zelda or a Mario amiibo tag, for instance, it's difficult to know which variant it is when you're scanning from this information. There's no image displayed, and it's hard to know which game it's from if you didn't know already. So the FLASK is a fantastic invention, a great gadget that I thoroughly recommend, but it is not without its shortcomings. So now let's take a look at the slide. I have to admit, the slide came as quite a surprise to me. This is not what I would have expected a follow-up to the FLASK to look like at all. The FLASK was a cute looking piece of kit, but the slide oozes charm in its simplicity. It's a solid, flat, square-shaped little slab of plastic with a super cute printed pattern graphic across the top. It is way smaller than the FLASK and it weighs next to nothing. You could easily have this attached to a bunch of keys, although it does come with this handy lanyard, which is what I'll be using with mine. It's supremely pocketable. In contrast to the exposed electronics and components of the FLASK with its layered build, which would make me hesitant to just chuck it in a bag or a pocket, the slide is a fully contained little robust piece of plastic with a solitary button on the front, some internal LEDs, a teeny weeny little internal speaker, and well, that's it. Although the speaker functionality hasn't actually been used yet, I've been in touch with bluuplabs and they are open to suggestions. So if you've got ideas, let them know. There's the possibility of little tunes playing to signify certain events, and even a composer to make your own tunes. You just know I'm gonna love that. And yes, there's no display. Well, aside from 2 LEDs anyway. There's a red one and a blue one on either side of the tactile button embedded under the plastic. When you press the button, it swaps through your list of installed amiibos in sequence. When Bluetooth is enabled, it lights up blue, and when it's not, it lights up red. A simple little indicator, which means there's at least a little bit of feedback to let you know it's actually functioning. And that's it, really. A very different take on the FLASK concept, bringing a lot of its strengths and adding a new approach that makes it more portable, robust, and designed with the mobile app connection in mind. I love it. And unlike the FLASK, it's currently in stock on the bluuplabs store, but I wouldn't be surprised if these end up in short supply too, because they're so awesome. If you want to get your hands on one, I would advise trying to get hold of one sooner rather than later. The newer price point makes it much easier to justify for the casual user too, and the experience, once you've got it in your hands, it is a really good one. I fully recommend it, and moving forward, I can see myself using this one even more than the FLASK. Congratulations to bluuplabs and good luck moving forward with the brand. You are doing an excellent job. So I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. Leave a like and get in the comments if you have any questions. Subscribe and sign up for notifications if you want to see more like this. I'll leave some links to the bluuplabs website with the official guide to using the slide, links to the mobile apps and the store where you can get hold of a slide for yourself. If you want to support my channel, one of the best ways to do that is to use my affiliate links for the ZedLabz website whenever you buy any modding gear, getting yourself some money off by using the code JOEBLEEPS. ZedLabz is an amazing resource. They sell so many fantastic items with great prices and superb customer service. I've been a customer of theirs for many years now, and I am very grateful for their support. Also, check out my new Amazon storefront to have a nosy at the sort of gadgets I like spending all of my money on. Thanks so much to everyone who's used these links so far. It is hugely appreciated. This is JOEBLEEPS signing off from the shed. If you want to see more of me, there's a few links popping up here for you. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.